right, y'all. We back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions, man. And this time we are going to take it to the white-only zone. This one is called Inside America's Fastest Growing White-Only Community, where you ain't allowed.
We're not just random white people. We're people who all had an interest in this. There's already that really strong bond beyond just our universal shared heritage with, you know, any other white person would have the same, but we're kind of from the same community online, largely.
In the mountains of Arkansas, a former French horn player in a Chinese orchestra is building a town with no blacks, Jews, Indians, Mexicans, or gays.
I've seen what happens when rural white towns get overrun with people who are not from there.
Look at people who aren't glad to be who they are. Go on hormone blockers. They seek to change their identity. Maybe.
Bro, you know how much hate? Hold on, I gotta stop it though. When he did the whole breakdown, no blacks, Mexicans, Asians, Jews, gays. You know how much hate you gotta have to not want to be around nobody but only my people that are white, and you got that much hate for other people, bro? Like, who the fuck hurt you, my nigga? Who the fuck hurt you to where you hate people that much? God damn.
You become a furry if you're really zesty.
Who followed him here? And what do they hope to accomplish? We went to find out.
How about stop attacking me? And maybe I won't be so anti-Semitic.
Our journey to the whites-only town started in Zinc, home to the KKK's headquarters, 2 hours to the west. After shooting a video there, which is coming next month, so subscribe so you don't miss it, we drove east to where the cell service stopped and a dirt road began. At the end, we found Return to the Land.
America was settled through the founding of self-sufficient, intentional communities. But after the end of segregation, the expansion of non-white immigration, the broader society no longer felt like a home for traditional Americans. RTTL, Return to the Land, is a private association founded to allow Americans who value their history and heritage to form communities around these values.
Eric?
How can motherfuckers that wasn't even around during that time feel this way in 2025? Nigga, you wasn't even alive, nigga. Shut your ass up, man. You just so American, super American. This is our land. This ain't even your fucking land, nigga.
He's the founder of this whites-only community, which has grown to 40 people. He's also a major online figure.
All right, hello everyone. I'm here with Nick Fuentes today. With diversity, we've forgotten how to interact with each other because there are people from all around the world in your communities. No one knows how to get along anymore.
We had a fascinating conversation with Eric.
Even in mostly white towns, people aren't exactly pro-white. We're kind of beaten down with the history of slavery and oppression, and I don't want that stuff passed on to my kids.
But before that, he took us around, introducing us to the residents who shared why they had moved here. We first met his ex-wife and current wife, Caitlin and Allison, who are residents.
In coming here, is it more about finding a traditional rural lifestyle, or is it about the racial component? It's whites only, European heritage?
Well, for me, I grew up in a mostly white area anyway. I think it was more the homesteading aspect for me. I've seen what happens when rural white towns get overrun with people who are not from there, and it usually does kind of result in chaos. So living in a place where I can be sure that that's not going to happen is a level of comfort for me.
I like that we can vet our neighbors here. I mean, you can move anywhere in the country, but you have no idea what it's going to be like in 10 years. I like letting my kids go out and play. They're not going to get run over or snatched by someone.
So you basically are stripping your kids of knowing other cultures, knowing black friends, Asian friends. You don't want them to know nothing. You're going to basically build this fraudulent community to make these kids think the world is only this way. So what's going to happen when they get older with only that mentality and they have to go face the real world? Because do you guys got colleges there, or what are you guys going to do? Oh, it ain't, y'all don't believe in college? Y'all just going to want your kids to stay there and farm off the land, I'm sure. Like, that's crazy, bro. You got that much fucking hate to where you're going to strip kids of knowing what's going on in the real world, and it's only whites that exist. You want your kids to think only white people exist in the world. And this is the way of the world, and there's no such thing as blacks. There's no such thing as slavery. I don't want them knowing about slavery. Like, that shit weak. That's some weirdo shit. Now, my question is, what would happen if 10 black niggas on a tour bus made the wrong turn and ended up in this city. Let me know what happened.
Exposed to more multicultural places, it was, cities that felt more dangerous, and it was just out of my comfort zone, and people didn't seem as friendly.
Well, I mean, just look at like the crime statistics here versus New York City.
I was very liberal at one point, and being targeted because of the color of my skin and called racist for things that had nothing to do with skin color really kind of opened my eyes to how other people view white people. Well, it was harder to, establish good rapport with people who didn't seem interested in having good rapport with me.
Day-to-day life here, what's it like? What do you do?
So obviously you can see that our house is not built yet. So we live in a town nearby right now, and it's just kind of slow, boring, lazy, rural Arkansas life. Not a lot going on. You just do what you need to do day to day, play with the kids, whatever.
These residents either don't work remotely, or in nearby towns. They are building their own homes and trying to live off the land. One resident, Scott, originally from Massachusetts, told us that this was essentially an online community that had taken shape in real life.
This is some bullshit. This is some baby back bullshit. They don't work. They work out of town. No, nigga, stay there, motherfucker. Why are you going out of town to go work? Stay there. This is where y'all want to be, right? Because nobody else, y'all don't want to deal with nothing else. Stay there and work, nigga. Figure out how you gonna make some money right there, motherfucker. You feel me? This is crazy, man. These people be so fucking, look who's leading them, dog. That was their leader right there, the dude. Like, I guarantee them niggas is over there fucking each other, and they got tapes on kids and stuff. Like, it be some sickos in this shit, man.
If I go somewhere and, signs aren't in English, people that I don't recognize, I don't know anything about their culture. They dress different, they act different, they speak different languages. I don't know how I'm ever gonna bond with those people. It's alien to me, I moved down here because I like the project. It was nice being around people that I could just talk to. Couldn't really talk to my neighbors where I was at. I mean, I could, but
what?
I didn't necessarily agree with them politically on things. I like being around these people, so wanted to buy land with them.
Yeah. Jonathan, a truck driver from North Dakota, spoke of saving white culture.
We believe God made the entire world. We believe it is everyone's responsibility to...
Hold on, Jonathan. Jonathan has snuck through the cracks, y'all. They just said they don't want no gays. Jonathan, you not fooling us, brother. We see what's going on. We see what's going on with your wagon.
Hold what God has given them. But this is what God has given us. Look at people who aren't glad to be who they are, right? Like, they go on hormone blockers. They seek to change their identity. Maybe you become a furry if you're really zesty.
He got to the cracks, y'all.
I wish that they had been taught to love themselves as how God created them, to embrace themselves, not taught that they were the enemy of every story. Oh, everything about you, like all of your immutable characteristics come from people who are evil and committed these genocides. And did you ever study
Shut up, boxhead. We don't want to hear what you talk about, bitch. Fast forward.
Crusades? Don't forget the Salem witch trials. And it's like, mate, like, I can't change who I am or how I was born.
One thing you hear is like, it'd be un-American to punish people for the sins
I think it for sure gay, y'all. He gay.
Their father, right? Like to punish you for slavery or punish me, for slavery. Like, that's not American. That's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way we're supposed to live. Yeah, on the other hand, to elevate ourselves because of our heritage, because of, say, what white people accomplish, because of Mozart and Bach. Mm-hmm. Would that not just be the other side of the same coin?
I will disagree on that point, because Beethoven and Bach are way better than like Diddy and Pac. It's not because...
What the fuck? This nigga said Beethoven is better than Diddy and Pop. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
It's like, oh, I am better because some German produced a great piece of music 300 years ago. I don't think anyone thinks that way. Like, if you say that these things are equal, these cultures have produced an equal product and effect over the course of 300 years, I know you're lying, and even you know you're lying.
I'd say...
Oh my God, y'all. What these people are idiots, bro. These people are idiots, bro. It's so crazy that they be thinking they cooking too. They think they cooking, bro. Like, what are y'all really what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the shit they be saying and the shit they be believing. And why they are there living amongst each other. Because of what? Like, man, if you don't knock it off, you niggas are weirdos. Y'all start a weirdo community to go live amongst each other and do weirdo shit. That's literally what y'all finna do. Y'all not finna go there and create this perfect land, this perfect place. Y'all finna create a weird ass place, bro. It's gonna be, y'all gonna breed other weirdos. That's all that's gonna happen.
Most sensible people wouldn't say, you know, that like Nicki Minaj and Beethoven are comparable, right? I'd say like take like your kind of middle of the road conservative American. I think that they probably think that they're like, obviously Beethoven is better than Nicki Minaj. Obviously there's, you know, Bach is better than Tupac.
Do you think that's true when they're playing like Nicki Minaj and rap music at Republican rallies? When's the last time they've played Beethoven at a Republican rally?
The question is, why not emphasize that Americanness? Why emphasize the skin tonedness? I think the average person wouldn't say we did this, because at this point it's like they've been in America, you know, maybe like their grandfather came from Italy, their grandmother came from France, their other grandfather came from Spain, their other grandmother came from Portugal, and they're white, but like in their skin color. And beyond the skin color, there's not much there to link them to a civilization, to a white culture, to white achievement. It's just that they happen to be born like this.
Well,
so you moved there because they're playing Nicki Minaj at the rallies, and you want to hear Beethoven. Like, these niggas is dumb, bro. I swear to God.
The question is, what is under attack? We are able to observe attacks on our people. We are justified in feeling a little bit of like by proxy attack. When they tear down the 5th, the 4th, the 18th statue of one of our ancestors, they're actually symbolically attacking us as a people. We feel attacked. Our women feel attacked.
All right, y'all. It's a dead giveaway that he's gay. Look at this pocket right here. Look at this pocket. See how that one's wrinkled? That's how gay people wear it. Nah, I'm messing with y'all.
Our children feel attacked. And it takes us men to actually say it out loud. If I go to Memphis, Tennessee, and walk around in Orange Mound, yeah, like I will be attacked. And for no other purpose than I'm the wrong person that wasn't supposed to be there.
What united all these people with Eric, the undisputed leader, is a sense that white people have been tricked into hating themselves.
Millions of young Americans, if they could choose, would eliminate their own race. They would intentionally not have white children so that their race, their skin color, they think, will not be perpetuated. If that's the ideology that you've accepted, that being white is bad itself, being who you are, what you were born as is bad, then what's your self-concept going to be?
Eric is a classically trained musician who performed with Shen Yun, the Chinese dance troupe you've seen advertised in your city. He says classical music helped push him toward...
Hold on. So he performed with the Chinese people, but he don't want no Chinese people around him? He don't want no Chinese people living there? Oh, check this fake ass nigga out. This nigga fake as a motherfucker, man.
White nationalism.
What was your path from being a musical performer with the Chinese ballet troupe to being here running a whites only community?
So obviously I didn't have the exact same beliefs back then. Also, I still...
Oh, he's a fraud. This nigga is a scammer, y'all. Y'all see this shit? When he gets called out for being a part of the Chinese group, now, I didn't have the same beliefs back then. Oh, you's a fraud, nigga.
To make it in the classical music world, so from that perspective, a job's a job. It was mostly conversations online, becoming more familiar with crime statistics, racial IQ differences.
He's a fraud, y'all.
Scammer.
Scammer alert.
Differences persuaded me that this isn't something that can just be overridden by a little bit of liberalism and equality and government programs.
Scammer
we will
alert.
always have these long-lasting, deep differences between different peoples. Instead of structuring society as if that was not the case, we should probably structure society and make choices based on that reality.
How would you like to see our society structured differently from the way it currently is as a whole?
I think it can actually be more pluralistic and more successful. I think more power should be given to local communities, whether they be homogeneous like ours, or whether they're more integrated racially, culturally, etc.
What is it about white culture, about white heritage, that makes you proud of being white?
I do think our musical traditions are exceptional. That by...
What? Oh, come on. What the fuck? This nigga. Bro, they gonna be so mad when they fucking snap out of it and realize who they're following. This is who y'all following, this fraud right here? This is where he got y'all moving because of the music It feels like he wanted to be in a higher position amongst that Chinese group and they didn't fuck with him. So now he got a hatred and he really wants to create this community that will purchase and stream his music. That's all he's doing. I discovered it. I cracked the case. He's trying to build a community of people who will listen to his music. That's all he cares about.
Itself doesn't mean that we're the superior civilization, but I think we should take pride in what we have done well. But it's not about just how smart are you, it's also how willing you are to challenge established beliefs.
You're talking about a willingness to ask questions and this. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say this is a byproduct of European culture. Other people would say it's a racial genetic difference. What do you think?
I would say there's a feedback cycle between the culture of a people and who they are genetically. During the medieval period, criminals were executed at really, really high rates. And so those problematic genes that were more prone to violence and theft and things like that, they were kind of weeded out of our population. And that did.
Hold on. One thing that has just struck me right now was like, okay, I'm seeing this community, right? But I'm only seeing like 3 or 4 like trailers and then like a house, one house, and then like a house that's about to be built. How many people actually stay here? That's the one question I need answered. How many people are actually following this scammer right here and actually packed up all their shit, packed up their family, and went to go move? Because the 2 women that talked in the beginning, one was his wife and one was his ex-wife, and then he had a homie. I don't think this is like 100 people, 500 people, 1,000 people living here. I think it's probably about 15 people, max. I don't know. What y'all think? What does it look like to y'all? Because I don't see a lot of homes. I don't see a lot of shit going on.
Didn't happen equally around the globe. Also, what is celebrated? If you celebrate individuality and individual accomplishment, then in the sexual marketplace, different things will be valued and sought after.
Speaking of the sexual marketplace, in a past life, Eric made porn.
Oh my God. Dog. This nigga's all over the place, bro.
Something he attributed to a nihilist phase.
Those videos were out there. It's regrettable that I ever engaged in that behavior. I wasn't a Christian at the time. Actually, I was a self-described moral nihilist. Most people rely on their common sense. You know, I've always kind of relied on my beliefs. And at the time, I believed in moral nihilism. That's the hazard. If you are like too intellectual, you abstract things. I converted to Christianity, left that behind me. And it was more than 10 years ago now. So it is what it is.
So he's all over the place, y'all. He's all over the place, bro. He's a failed porn star. He's a failed musician. And then he figured it out. If I go on this Reddit, if I go on this internet, Facebook probably, and I make these videos saying it's time for a white America where it's only us. It's always some goofies who will listen and follow. It's always, man, if you put your line strong enough, you can always herd some people. Not saying you're going to herd a large abundance of people, but you can always herd, 2s and fews. And that's what he content with that. Cool. I got these people. Then he's going to find a way to get money out of them. How can I get money out of them? What can I tell them? Oh, our land needs this. It's time we start taking, we start donating like church do with tithes. I don't fuck with that whole church tithe shit where they be like, oh, you got to give us 10% of what you earn this month to church. And the money goes to the pastor and he buys a Lexus and a helicopter while people got to pull up on a bus and walk to church. Like, I don't fuck with it. That's what he's doing. He's a janky pastor.
Eric now identifies as Christian, but a kind of nihilism remains. He believes America's culture and economy are collapsing, that there's a conspiracy to make whites hate themselves, and that politics won't fix it.
What do you think about Nick Fuentes? Do you think he's the highest profile figure who kind of aligns with your views, or where does he fit into the way you see things?
You look at me like I have 3 heads. All I'm saying is minorities are really obnoxious.
I align with a lot of his perspectives. Ideologically, I would say we're mostly aligned. So apparently I am now dead to Nick Fuentes. This is because I privately DM'd him asking for clarification on his stance on birthright citizenship.
If you have citizenship, if you were born in this country, this is your birthright.
I wanted clarification from Nick before I defended him publicly.
Eric Arval is DMing me saying, "Are you against birthright citizenship in DMs?" Really? F you. You're dead to me.
I'm very...
All right. So basically, I also see now where these people could be coming from. These are probably Nick Fuentes fan base niggas. The niggas who don't fuck with him are the rejects of his fan base. That's probably how they built a rapport together. They probably was in his chat. Like the greatest chat, the Ace Pit. And they built a community together and came together like, hey, we should all live together since we all got the same beliefs. I see what's going on. You was an internet reject, nigga.
Very pessimistic that they could ever achieve meaningful change from the top down. And with people like Nick Fuentes leading the Republican Party in the future, you're not going to have a lot of non-white people in the Republican Party being very enthusiastic about it because it'll be seen as the party of white people because Nick Fuentes identifies as pro-white. He says the country should be normatively white. Would I personally prefer that? Yeah, because it's what the country was when my ancestors came here. It's what, my bloodline thought it was signing up for. We have, in the meantime, invited a lot of people in. It is baked into the cake. We're going to have a multicultural society. So the best that we can do is have a government that respects the rights of all these different groups to go their own way and have their own peaceful communities.
Eric's answer is to create a separate world and let the rest go its own way. To avoid anti-discrimination lawsuits, the community is structured as a private club where members apply and get a plot of land if accepted.
A private club, AKA a cult. That's what the fuck this is. A private club. This is a cult, my nigga. You got these motherfuckers brainwashed. Y'all niggas on some mumbo jumbo. This shit ain't gonna last long, man. I can tell y'all now, this shit ain't gonna last long, man. This shit ain't built on shit.
Return to the Land is our private membership association, and that exists for people of European heritage who want to preserve that heritage through intentional communities. We chose to do an LLC, and then all of the residents here, they buy shares in that company. So we all collectively own the land together through that company. Getting into the PMA.
Buy shares. I told you I got something to do with money. Pay attention, this nigga, he's a scammer.
That is Return to the Land itself is relatively straightforward and easy. You fill out the application, you do an interview, and then you sign an agreement and you're in, and then you're in our chats online. You can organize with people.
Told you, it's the chat that came from Nick Fuentes, the rejects. They just started a community and he's found a way to charge them and get money out their ass. Yeah, come on, y'all can see, a blind man can see this play, y'all. Come on, this is some bullshit.
You wanted to buy into this community, you would have to come down here, spend a couple days with us, get to know us, and then the members collectively would kind of make that call. Do we want this person in the community or not? I think the acceptance rate is something like 50%.
Eric is explicitly not a segregationist, and he doesn't call for removing minorities from America.
So I don't think that segregation should be forced. And I don't think that integration should be forced.
Which is to say the way it was in the South, say 60 years ago.
That was government-enforced segregation in many cases. And I don't think that's not the role of the government, in my opinion.
Rather, he's just given up on integration and says societies are better off living in their own bubbles.
I actually believe in the literal sense of multiculturalism. Different cultural groups can coexist in one political framework, and there are many historical examples of that. Assimilate into what? As well. What is the overarching American culture that people are supposed to join? We don't have a national language or religion. We have always been multicultural. I think it's in keeping with our tradition of being tolerant and free as a society that we can embrace different communities going.
This nigga think he cooking, y'all. Like, y'all hear how dumb this nigga sounds, bro? We don't have our own language. Like, how do you hate people that much, bro? How can you have that much hatred? Okay, I get it. You can hate a person. I get that. I get it. You can hate a couple people. But to hate all races, hate everything about the world that isn't white is the craziest shit. Like, how the fuck? What happened? Who hurt you that much? Like, if it ain't white, it ain't right. Like, what? All right, well, in that case, don't use nothing that minorities made, created, discovered. Nothing, nigga. Let's see you live off of that. You know what I mean? Like, let's see then if you hate niggas that much.
In their own way.
While critics say Return to the Land is anti-black, its founders are far more focused on Jews. Eric and his co-founders' X accounts are filled with posts alleging that Jews control the U.S. and are responsible for the anti-white agenda.
I've never heard a Jewish person look back on their history and say, we shouldn't have done this in Weimar Germany, or we shouldn't have pushed for this in the United States, or we maybe were trying to interfere too much in the affairs of other people. I'm not saying they're guilty for all things, or they're the source of all evils in the world, but there does tend to be a very one-sided perspective where they expect us to always have guilt and always to think badly of our own history, but they cannot for a moment entertain that the Jewish community has been hostile or detrimental to our society.
We draw very different lessons from what happened in Europe in the 40s. Where I draw from it that the lesson is the Holocaust and the killing of millions of Jews, and had this stuff not happened, had we not had, the US and England do what they did, all the Jews in Europe would have been eliminated, and many Slavs would have been made subservient to the Aryans, and other groups would be gone, homosexuals, disabled people. Whereas you draw a very different lesson.
I think a lot of guilt has been put on the Germans in the middle of the century. I think a lot of the kind of fantastical fears of what the Nazis would have done if we didn't.
Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth, man. You are a fucking poser, bro. I'm not listening to no nigga who just started feeling this way about his race and his culture 2 years ago. You was just with the Asians. You was just hanging out with the Chinese people, fool. You was just a part of the Chinese people group. Now, all of a sudden, you hate everybody because they're not great. They're not like the white people. They didn't start nothing. They didn't create nothing. You hate their music. You hate how they look. You hate how they talk. Nigga, you was just with them. You're a poser, bro. You're a poser. And people was really following this nigga. That shit is crazy. That just show you how many goofies is in the world, bro.
Intervene are unfounded. The Jewish community, they don't want me or anyone else alleging crimes on their part, but they're perfectly comfortable alleging every ill motive in the book onto the Nazis. I think a lot of it is motivated by wartime propaganda because the victors write the histories. I have no intention of ever attacking a Jewish group. On the other hand, Jewish groups have condemned us. Jewish journalists have written hit pieces on us. We're minding our own business. I've done nothing to these people. So if they are afraid of me being anti-Semitic, how about stop attacking me?
You're a fraud.
And maybe I won't be so anti-Semitic.
On the one hand, Return to the Land is minding its own business in a remote community deep in the Ozarks. Yet on the other, Eric is a major online figure who leads a movement that blames Jews for what he says is the plight of the white race in the U.S. today. His language is reminiscent of the stab in the back theory, which blamed the Jews for Germany's loss of World War I and led to the Nazis' rise. Regardless, though, Eric's focus is not on World War II or the 1930s. It's on the future, where he hopes to build a place in the Ozarks that preserves white culture for his children's generation.
You're envisioning, based on everything I've read on your website and everything, that this will be the first of numerous communities like this.
Right.
So what's your vision for Return to the Land 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now?
Well, we're not a political organization. We're not seeking political change. We are just trying to give white Americans the option of having their own communities if that's what they want. I think a lot of people do show with their demonstrated preferences where they choose to live, how they choose to associate, that they do actually value their identity. But you can get in trouble with your employer or sometimes in legal trouble if you say that explicitly and openly. So if we are doing something political there, it is trying to normalize white Americans embracing their own identity if that's what they choose, just like Black Americans do, Jewish Americans do, other groups do it.
On the one hand, these people were all minding their own business in the woods and weren't bothering anyone. While they hope to expand out west and elsewhere, they're more focused on building their utopia than reshaping America. But on the
all right, man. All right. Here's my take on this one, man. The nigga, the leader, is a fraud. I'm not rolling. Once they exposed that you was just with the Chinese people in their music group, performing with them and traveling with them, it's over. It's nothing else to talk about. Your hate is not legit, my nigga. You're a poser. You're a user. That's all that shows me. You're a reject. and people wasn't fucking with you. You're failed in music. You're failed in porn. So you started a 3D Discord server. You just got all the people who had hate, and you said, hey, let's take everybody over here. Come live over here with me, guys, so we can talk about this every day with each other. Bring your trailers. Bring all your trailers. Because that's all it is over here is trailers and a bunch of fucking wood with one house being built. Only one house. I would like you to line these people up, all the adults, and put how are they earning money, each one. Where do they, if they're working, where do they go work at? Because there's no jobs on this land right here. So where are they going to work at, and who do they work for? A white man, an Asian, a black? Who do they work for? So you're still profiting off the backs of minorities. I guarantee some of them are still profiting off minorities. There's some type of way in working. This shit is cap, man. I'm not fucking with it. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I'm gonna give y'all 2 seconds to smash a like. And as always, get ready for the next reaction. And I meant IRL, not 3D. Y'all know what I meant, man.